Pull up any complaint database you want and look at what's on file for the Fords I'm about to name. Then look at what's on file for the average new truck on the lot right now. It isn't close, and it isn't close in the direction nobody expects. There are Fords sitting on used lots today for less than the sales tax on a new F-150, and I would bet my own money that they'll still be running when that new truck is somebody else's problem. I know, because I'm the guy keeping them running, and the bills are almost embarrassing. 5 of them. And number 1 is the cheapest hour of my week, every week. Hey folks, I'm Dale. 25 years wrenching on Fords, everything from old F-150s and Rangers to the newest EcoBoosts and Power Strokes. Every week somebody walks into my shop asking which Ford to buy, and every week they're shocked when I don't point at anything shiny. So here's the sentence I want you to hold on to. The truck you're buying isn't a truck, it's an engine. Everything else is furniture. Nice furniture sells trucks. Engines keep them. Number 1 is a Ford. I've had customers drive past 400,000 miles, and the single most common repair on it costs less than a decent dinner. Stick around for that. Let's get into it. First, let me be fair because I'm not here to trash a new truck. A 2025 F-150 is a genuinely better vehicle than anything on this list. It's safer, it's faster, it rides better, it gets better fuel economy, and it'll do things these 5 can't. Ford builds a better truck now than they ever have, and I mean that. But that's not the question. The question is what it costs to keep the thing alive at year 12, and complexity has a price. I had a 2022 F-150 in my shop for nothing but a cracked windshield, and between the glass and recalibrating the camera behind it, that was $1,800. That's not a defect. That's just what modern costs. Everything on this list is cheap to buy and cheap to keep. That's the whole list. Number 5, the lunchbox truck. The 2011 to 2014 Ford Ranger with the 2.3 4-cylinder, the last of the small Rangers, and the engine is the reason it's here. That 2.3 is a port-injected 4-cylinder with a timing chain, no turbo, no direct injection, no cylinder deactivation. There is almost nothing on it to fail. Here's the mechanic's view. Port injection means fuel sprays onto the back of the intake valve every cycle, which keeps that valve washed clean. That's why these don't get the carbon buildup that chokes a direct injection engine. No turbo means no boost pressure, no intercooler condensation, no heat soak into a bearing. It's an engine that makes modest power and asks for almost nothing. I've got a customer with a 2012 Ranger at 214,000 miles. He paid $4,800 for it. In 3 years, the biggest bill I've written him was a water pump and thermostat, $540. Now the honest catch, and it's a serious one, rust. If that truck spent its life in a salt state, the frame and the brake lines will kill it long before the engine does. And it's a small truck with a small tow rating. This is not a trailer truck. By rule, get under it with a flashlight and a screwdriver before you talk price. Poke the frame rails behind the cab and poke the brake lines. If anything flakes, walk away. Clean underneath, and it's one of the cheapest vehicles to own in America. Number 4, the truck nobody wants. The 2011 to 2014 F-150 with the 3.7 V6. Everybody wants the EcoBoost. Everybody wants the 5.0. Nobody wants the base V6, which is exactly why you can buy one for real money less than the same truck with a different badge on the fender. And here's what nobody tells you. That 3.7 is a naturally aspirated, port-injected, chain-driven V6 out of the same family Ford used all over the lineup. No turbos to replace. No direct injection to carbon up. It makes about 300 rated horsepower, which was a full-size truck V8 not that long ago. I've got a 2013 F-150 with the 3.7 in my customer file at 198,000 miles on the original engine, never opened. Last thing I did to it was plugs and coils. $310. The honest catch, it's not quick with a load, and the fuel economy isn't much better than the V8, because a small engine working hard drinks like a big one. And the transmission behind it needs fluid service on a real interval. Most of these were sold as lifetime fill, and that word has funded a lot of rebuilds. By rule, ask for a transmission service receipt. If there isn't one, assume it's never been done, and budget $300 to $450 for a drain and fill the week you buy it. Do that, and this truck will embarrass people who spent twice as much. Number 3, the cockroach, the 2003 to 2011 Crown Victoria and Grand Marquis. Yes, I put a sedan on a truck channel. Hear me out, because this is the single most durable thing Ford has built in my lifetime. Body on frame, solid rear axle, a 4.6 two-valve V8 with a cast iron block. Everything on it is simple and everything on it is cheap. Police departments and taxi fleets ran these to numbers that don't make sense, and they did it on brutal duty cycles. Idling all day, hard acceleration, no mercy. Here's the part that matters mechanically. A two-valve 4.6 has one camshaft per head, a simple chain, and no variable timing games. Nothing collapses, nothing phases, nothing carbons up. It makes modest power forever. I've got a customer running a 2007 ex-Police Crown Vic at 289,000 miles. He paid $1,900 for it. This year, I did an intake and a blend door actuator, $680 total. The honest catch, and pay attention to the years. On the earlier two-valve heads, there were very few threads holding the spark plug in an aluminum head, and they would literally blow a plug out. Ford addressed it, and the later cars are much better, but it's the reason I'm telling you '03 and newer. The fix, if it happens, is a threaded insert, $200 to $500 a hole. Also, watch the plastic intake on the earlier engines. By rule, buy the newest one you can find, ask when the plugs were last out, and if the answer is never at 200,000 miles, that's a job to do carefully with the right tools, not with a breaker bar on a hot engine. Halfway through. If you're still watching, you're already ahead of most buyers, because most people shop with their eyes and then pay with their wallet for the next 6 years. Hit that like button. It puts this in front of somebody about to sign for a truck they can't afford to fix. And while we're here, everything on this list depends on the same handful of intervals. The right oil, the right fluid, on time. That's the whole difference between 300,000 miles and 100,000. I put together a free maintenance guide for Ford owners. Fluids, intervals, the whole system. Links in the description. Number 2. The Fleet Orphan. The 2009 to 2014 E250 and E350 vans with the 5.4 Triton. Nobody's dream vehicle. That's the point. These are on lots for a fraction of what a comparable truck costs, because they were work vans and nobody romanticizes a work van. What you're actually buying is a body-on-frame chassis, a solid rear axle, a truck transmission, and a 5.4 V8 that will run a very long time if the oil was right. Contractors get this. Everybody else drives past them. Now, the 5.4 3-valve has a reputation and it earned some of it, so let me be straight with you about both sides. Two real problems. First, the spark plugs are a two-piece design, and the bottom half can seize in the head and break off when you pull it. That's not the end of the world. There's an extraction tool made specifically for it, but it turns a plug job into a real job. Second, the cam phasers. Those are the variable timing units on the front of the camshafts, and they run on oil pressure. Dirty or wrong viscosity oil, and they don't lock properly, and you get that rattle for 2 or 3 seconds on a cold start. People call it the death rattle. Now the fair go, and I mean it. Both of those problems have the same root cause, and it's oil. I've got a 2011 E350 in my file at 262,000 miles on the original engine, never opened, no phaser work, because the owner changed the oil every 5,000 miles for 13 years without fail. The plug job on it cost him $980 because 3 broke. That's the price of admission, and he'd pay it again. By rule. 2 things. Start it cold in front of you. If it rattles for more than a second on startup, that's a $1,500 to $3,000 job coming, and you price accordingly. And ask for the plug service receipt. No plug service past 100,000 miles means $400 to $1,200 is waiting for you. That's not a walkaway. That's a negotiation. Number 1. The Forever Engine. The 1999 to 2003 F-250 and F-350 with the 7.3 Power Stroke. Here it is. 25 years old and still the engine I trust more than anything Ford has built since. Let me tell you why, mechanically. That engine has no high-pressure common rail fuel system, no diesel particulate filter, no exhaust gas recirculation cooler, no selective catalytic reduction, and no emissions plumbing routing hot exhaust back through the engine. It's a big, slow-turning iron block diesel with a huge oil capacity and injectors driven by engine oil pressure. There is very little on it capable of a catastrophic failure, and that's not nostalgia, that's a parts count. And pull up the complaint records if you want the outside confirmation. Look at the spread between what's on file for the 7.3 years and what's on file for the engine that replaced it. It isn't close, and everybody who works on these knows it in their hands before they ever see a database. I've got a customer running a 2001 F-350 at 341,000 miles on the original engine and the original turbo. Last year, it died on the highway. Cam position sensor. The part was $95 and I had him going in 20 minutes. That's the whole story with these. When a 7.3 leaves you on the shoulder, it's almost always a cheap part. That's the opposite of every modern diesel, where a small failure can cascade into $8,000 to $12,000. Now the honest catch, because I won't hand you a recommendation without one, the cam position sensor will fail, and it'll do it without warning. Carry a spare in the glove box and the wrench to change it. Injector O-rings go and give you a rough cold start and hard starting. The glow plug relay dies and it won't start in the cold at all. Those are all a few $100s, but they're not zero. And this truck is slow, it's loud, it doesn't stop like a modern truck, and half the ones for sale have been beaten or badly modified. By rule, 3 things, and I mean all 3. 1. Start it dead cold in the morning in front of you, with no ether and no block heater. It should catch and settle without pouring white smoke. 2. Ask one question and listen to how it's answered. Has it ever been turned up or tuned? A stock, unmolested 7.3 is worth paying for. 3. Spend $150 to $250 on an independent inspection before you hand over a dime. A $150 inspection against a $5,000 mistake. The math is not complicated. Result, a truck that is genuinely capable of another 200,000 miles, bought for less than the down payment on new. So look, here's the truth. The truck you're buying isn't a truck, it's an engine. Everything else is furniture. Every vehicle on this list has the same profile. Port injection or mechanical injection, no turbo or a simple one, iron where it counts, and a parts count low enough that a bad day costs hundreds instead of thousands. And let me say this one more time so nobody misquotes me. The new F-150 is a better truck. It's not even an argument. What I'm telling you is that better and cheaper to own are 2 different words. And if your budget is real, these 5 will get you there and back for years while the new one is still being financed. So run it back. Ranger, crawl under it. 37 F-150, get the transmission serviced. Crown Vic, buy 03 or newer. E-Series van, cold start it and ask about plugs. 7.3, cold start it, ask if it's stock and pay for the inspection. And don't forget, there's a free maintenance checklist for your Ford waiting in the description. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment with the highest mileage Ford you've personally owned, model, engine, and the number on the odometer. And tell me what finally ended it, if anything did. I read every comment. Next week, 7 towing habits that are destroying Ford diesels without the owner ever knowing it's happening. And the worst one doesn't happen while you're towing at all. Take care of your Ford, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one.